Good afternoon. It's time for Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we'll find out what one local manufacturer has in common with ancient Polynesians with reporter Michelle Coates on the Business Beat. Then it's over to health reporter Stephanie Strong for a report from the Volusia County Health Department. And finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for a discussion on beach safety with Beach Patrol Captain Tammy Marris. Those segments, news, and more coming up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. Higher prices for aviation fuel that caused a modest jump in fares are partly to blame for a slight decrease in passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport for the month of April.
We've seen in the last 3 years, we've seen inflation go up about 7%, but the price of jet fuel in this country has gone up about 155%. It's a significant cost. It makes up about a half to a third to a half of airline operating costs. So it's a major component of air travel.
Passenger traffic decreased 3% in April compared with April of last year. During April, more than 52,000 incoming and outgoing passengers passed through Daytona Beach International Airport. This compares with more than 54,000 passengers of April 2011. But for the 12 months ending April 30th, annual passenger traffic was up 14% over the prior year.
What we've seen is last few weeks, actually the fuel prices started to come back down, and we've seen some softening of that price, and so that's going to help air travel generally, because when fuel goes up, fares go up, and that's been happening over the last year, but not nearly as much as the cost of the fuel itself. So the airlines have been more efficient, they've been doing a better job, and I think here you're going to see our traffic be steady to increasing over 2012. And we think the future is bright. We're working on other airlines. We're talking to Delta to see what more they can do. And I think we're going to keep working on that, and I think you're going to see some upward swing in 2012.
And if you'd want to keep up on what's happening at Daytona Beach International Airport, you can like the airport's Facebook page at Facebook/FlyDaytonaFirst. The Ocean Center is full of pomp and circumstance through May and June as thousands of people graduate with a high school or college diploma in hand. This is video from Daytona State College graduation from last week. Students from Bethune-Cookman University and Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and 10 other high schools held or will hold commencement ceremonies at Volusia County's Convention Center. More than 2,000 students from 3 colleges and thousands more from 10 area high schools are throwing their motorboards into the air. In all, more than 3,800 high school students will graduate this year from Volusia County Public Schools. Don Poor, director for the Ocean Center, said the County Convention Center is just the right size to fit all of the graduates and their families, and the beauty and sophistication of the venue make the event extra special for the students and their well-wishers.
Well, it's kind of an unusual thing. Many times facilities are available in other parts of the community, but this is a very large facility, a lot of large high schools, large colleges here, so they need a facility that's this big for them to accommodate them. This will be our third one this year. We started it on Saturday night with Bethune-Cookman University. We did Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University on Sunday. Daytona State is today. We'll do 13 of them total this year and run from this past Saturday night through June the 3rd. We will run over 50,000 people through the facility for graduation exercises.
If you know a high school graduate, you can tell them about the website career.com, which ranks 200 jobs from best to worst based on physical demands, work environment, income, stress, and hiring outlook. The firm used data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and other government agencies to determine the rankings. Outdoor recreation enthusiasts can celebrate National Trails Day by getting some fresh air and exercise at beautiful Green Springs Park in Enterprise. The annual celebration will be from 9 to 11 a.m. Saturday, June 2nd. Outdoor recreational groups will have informational displays, and the Volusia County Transportation Planning Organization will give away free children's bicycle helmets starting at 9 a.m. Staff and volunteers will offer children's activities and lead a guided nature hike and historical walking tour through the 36-acre park. Park visitors can enjoy paved and natural trails, scenic overlooks, a playground, and picnic pavilions. Trails Day is coordinated by Volusia County's Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division. The Volusia County Council supports the development of trail systems because trails improve quality of life, said District 5 County Council member Patricia Northey, a lifelong trail advocate.
We are standing here in Green Spring Park, a trailhead for our regional rail trail. We're going to be celebrating National Trails Day here, and what is so exciting about that is that this particular project here is part of the American Great Outdoors Initiative by the federal government. It's one of 2 projects that has been identified for that designation. So we're going to be celebrating Trails Day, we're going to be celebrating this park, we're going to be celebrating this trail. And the reason we celebrate trails, because they provide economic value to our community, they provide recreational value to our community, and they bring out people, they bring families together, and they also provide a health benefit that sometimes gets overlooked. The benefit of our trail system is that it is designed so that everybody at any level can use our trail system. Whether they want to walk, they can walk. If they want to ride a bike, they certainly can do that. And we had a biker here today who had his dog on the back of his bicycle, and he rides our trails all the time. It's an exciting project.
Volusia County's trail system includes the world's most famous beach trail, which offers 35 miles of sandy beach, the 6-mile North Peninsula Trail in Ormond by the Sea, the 3.5-mile Ponce Inlet Trail, and 5 segments of the popular Spring to Spring Trail, which, when complete, will stretch 26 miles from Green Springs Park to De Leon Springs Park. Earlier this year, Volusia County completed the first segment of the East Central Regional Rail Trail, which one day will stretch 50 miles. The first rail trail segment is 5.7 miles long and includes a trailhead at Green Springs Park. The rail trail is 12 feet wide and paved, making it accessible to walkers, joggers, inline skaters, bicyclists, and people with disabilities. For more information about the county's trails program, you can visit volusia.org/trails.
I'm Andy Kelly with the Volusia County Council. The St. Johns River is one of the gems of West Volusia County. This beautiful waterway is a haven for manatees and a mecca for fishermen and boaters. You can support the river by buying a St. Johns River specialty license plate. For each plate that is purchased, $25 is sent to the St. Johns River Alliance, a not-for-profit group that helps conservation, education, research, and cleanup efforts of the waterway. You can purchase a St. Johns River license plate at your local tag and title office. Thank you.
And now let's join Business Beat reporter Michelle Coates for some insight into how Volusia's local surfing industry has gone global.
We're here at Richenberg Surfboards, a local manufacturer within the multi-million-dollar surfing industry in Volusia County. I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat.
But the thing that's good is you only get about 25% of the compression in the back of the board that you would with a poly.
Surfing has evolved into a worldwide multi-billion-dollar industry. Volusia County boasts its fair share of surfboard manufacturers that cater to the influx of surfers that our consistent quality waves draw. We spoke to longtime surfer and local surfboard manufacturer Randy Richenberg about our local surf industry and what goes into making a quality board.
Traditionally, they're made out of polyurethane foam core with polyester resin and fiberglass to seal and strengthen the board. But now there's emerging technologies as far as using extruded polystyrene cores with epoxy resin and composite fabrics to make more durable boards.
Surfing is believed to have originated with the Polynesians as early as 400 AD. Their boards were made of wood, 12 to 20 feet long, and weighed nearly 200 pounds.
And from there, you know, it came to California, and from California it came to the East Coast, and then it just grew internationally to Australia and all over the world, and it's a global sport now.
Today's much lighter surfboards are made of polyurethane foam cores with specialized polyester resins forming the outer shell. It's a custom process, and there are several quality manufacturers here in Volusia County.
Fabric called the Negra S. It's a polypropylene composite. It's a real flexible.
Choosing the right board depends on many factors, ranging from the expertise and type of use to the surfer's size. From stand-up paddleboards to high-performance shortboards, Volusia County has the water or waves to suit most.
It's really based on personal preference. A young kid, 16 years old, will want to do aerials. He'll be riding a high-performance board. Somebody that just wants to catch a lot of waves, and maybe my age may want to ride something that's a little bigger and has a little bit more flotation. Like I said, as far as longboards go, you may get somebody who just wants to go out and just ride the waves as long as they can. They may be riding a 10-foot board, but it really comes down to the level of enjoyment that they get while they're surfing, and that is something that surfboard builders really need to concentrate on when they talk to their customers and the surf shop staff.
Volusia County boasts all types of water for all types of interests. From surfing the waves to stand-up paddling along our beautiful waterways, there's something for everyone. The first step is to take a lesson and enjoy the moment.
We have Asian imports, which come in at the lower end of the cost, and then we have higher-end custom-built surfboards, and it's basically personal preference and where the person's surfing and what they want out of their surfboard. But your average cost on a surfboard is about $400 to $500 for basically what your average surfer would ride would be something that's about 6.5 feet long.
A recent study by Surf First revealed that the average surfer is in his mid-30s, college-educated, employed full-time, earning $50,000 to $75,000 annually, and has about 16 years of surfing experience. Those surfers order their boards up custom. Local surfboard manufacturers produce hundreds of boards that are sent across the world to beaches everywhere. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat.
Health reporter Stephanie Strong has this news from the Volusia County Health Department.
Accidents in the workplace happen more frequently than most people tend to believe. In the United States, tripping, slipping, and falling ranks second behind automobiles in terms of accidents. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, every year almost 6,000 people are fatally injured at work. More than 4 million people suffer non-fatal injuries, including over 1 million which cause them to miss 1 or more days of work. The good news is that most of these accidents can be easily avoided by taking a few simple preventative measures. Never leave cords, boxes, and other materials in walkways or block emergency exits. When reaching, always use a ladder or non-sliding footstool instead of climbing on a desk or chair. Report poor lighting or missing handrails on stairs immediately. Never carry loads that block your view at any time. Use proper lifting techniques that allow the legs, not the back, to do the work. Balance the loads in file cabinet drawers to reduce the risk of dangerous top heaviness. And remember, always report accidents to your supervisor immediately.
Slips, trips, and falls have only a minor impact on the workplace. You only need to pay attention to a slip, trip, and fall incident if there are injuries. You and your employees must work together to eliminate slip, trip, and fall hazards. Good housekeeping plays a major role in preventing slips, trips, and falls in the workplace.
For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. And now let's join our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, in the studio for an in-depth discussion on beach safety with his guest, Captain Tammy Marris with Volusia County's Beach Patrol. Dave?
Well, thank you, Amber, and hello, everyone. The busy Memorial Day holiday weekend is right around the corner, and that means thousands of people will flock to the beach for fun in the sun. Volusia County's Beach Patrol will be out in full force, staffing the lifeguard towers and doing everything they can to keep beachgoers safe. If you're going to the beach, there are some common sense things that you should do to keep you and your loved ones safe. Beach safety is our subject today with our studio guest, Beach Patrol Captain Tammy Marris. Tammy, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Hey, Memorial Day weekend kind of kicks off the busy summer season, although in Florida it's kind of hard to tell when summer really starts. But really, you expect some really good crowds over Memorial Day.
Yes, we're extremely busy, and like you said, we'll have fully staffed personnel. We're getting our equipment together, and we're super excited about this weekend.
I know that right at about the Memorial Day weekend is when you start to bring in all your seasonal personnel. You know, the kids are out of school, you know, colleges are closed and that sort of thing. So you'll have how many towers or how many people on board?
Well, we hope to have probably about 75, 80 towers open on any given day during the holiday weekend, and also all of our full-time staff will be working as well.
And of course, Memorial Day, like July 4th and Labor Day, is kind of a 3-day weekend, I think. So you'll be busy for probably at least 3 days, maybe even 4 if people get an early start.
Oh yeah, we'll be busy all weekend, and we do recommend people follow all the safety rules.
Speaking of safety rules, you know, one of the, I guess, the biggest and best pieces of advice that we can give anyone when they go to the beach is to always swim in front of a lifeguard, because I think probably you would agree that perhaps the biggest concern for people when they go to the beach is those rip currents.
Oh, absolutely. Swimming in front of a lifeguard is so important. Lifeguards are trained to spot rip currents before you even know that they're there, and they'll keep you out of them and keep you in a safer part of the beach.
Of course, I guess it's probably too early to tell at this point whether rip currents will be a major concern come Memorial Day weekend. But if there are rip currents, as you say, Tammy, people need to be extra vigilant. If they're caught in a rip current, and we talk about this all the time, just kind of remind people what they should and shouldn't do if they get in a rip current.
Well, if you're caught in a rip current, the most important thing to do is do not panic. A lot of people panic and get excited. If you're caught in a rip current, try to yell for help. You should be in front of a lifeguard tower, and then so you can yell for help to the lifeguard, and usually they see you before that even happens. But if you are caught in a rip current, swim parallel to shore. Do not swim straight in and try to fight the current.
Right.
You'll get exhausted, and that's when drownings do occur.
And a rip current, as I understand it, Tammy, in layman's terms, is, you know, it's kind of an impression in the ocean, kind of the seashore floor, and it kind of creates a trough that kind of pulls people out. It doesn't extend for a wide distance on both sides, from my understanding.
Absolutely. It's a trough. It's a current that pulls you into deeper water. A lot of people have the misunderstanding that they get pulled under. That's not the truth. It just pulls you into deeper water. So as long as you float and do not panic, and try not to swim back into shore in the rip current.
Right, because if you try to fight it, then of course you'll exhaust yourself, and that's when people get in trouble. As you're saying, go north to south, I think, of the rip current.
Absolutely.
And if you can, you know, wave those hands, and the lifeguard will see you.
Yes.
Also, probably good to point out that if people have any questions or concerns, if there, you know, anything that's a thought to them, they can always talk to a lifeguard, because they're there to provide information.
Absolutely. The lifeguards know exactly what's going on in that area. They know if there's any advisories for the day. So the best thing to do is when you go down in front of the lifeguard, just have a word with them for a minute and ask them, you know, where the rip currents are, if there's any other advisories that we have out.
It's a no-brainer. You know, it's a good advice no matter what you're doing, but drinking on the beach is not allowed, and certainly drinking and intoxication on the beach is a recipe for some real
disaster.
trouble.
Yes, it's a recipe for disaster, and probably the country's most of the drownings occur on beaches due to alcohol. They're alcohol related in young men especially, but alcohol is not permitted on the beach for many reasons. We have driving on our beach, and it's absolutely not prohibited, and it's an arrestable offense also.
Absolutely. You know, it seems again kind of simple to say, but particularly for people that you know, are not from Florida, maybe they come down here for a vacation, maybe they're from a northern area, they're not used to the sun. Prolonged exposure to the Florida sun can also be a real problem. You can get a pretty bad sunburn down here.
Absolutely. I recommend that if you even come out for 15 minutes to
Right.
apply sunblock, and if you're out for longer, reapply it probably every
Right.
15 minutes.
I know you all that are all on the beach all day long. I know that you know, sunblock is a standard piece of equipment for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Even in the wintertime, we wear it every day.
Right. Tammy, of course, as you touched on, one of the things that make Volusia County beaches what they are is that we do have a driving and parking component on at least parts of the beach. And of course, when you add that vehicle dynamic with the pedestrians and that sort of thing, it does create the need for extra safety. I know this year the county has made a concerted effort to try to make some minor changes on the beach to kind of protect that mix of people and vehicles. Tell us about the changes that have occurred on the beach as it relates to the vehicle side of things.
Well, we have a couple different areas, popular parks on the beach that you're not allowed to park in front of anymore. It does make it more visible to pedestrians and to vehicles. So it makes it a lot safer. And also we have the one-way traffic in certain areas on the beach near ISB and Seabreeze.
Right. And Tammy, I believe a couple of minor things that people should do. One, I believe you're supposed to have your headlights on at all times. And hey, the texting and driving is not a good thing to do anywhere, and it's certainly not allowed on the beach.
Correct. Now when you come down on the beach, we do ask, please put on your lights, roll down your windows, and stay off your cell phones.
Of course, the beach gets real crowded. I know that you try to manage the traffic flow and to get people to park, you know, orderly and that sort of thing. And a lot of people like to put their chairs and blankets on the side of their vehicles, and that's a concern.
Yes, we do ask you do not lay out in between the vehicles any blankets or chairs, any personal belongings. It is a safety hazard.
Right. Yeah. You know, of course, you know, we're kind of getting away from the notion that you drive on the beach. The idea is you drive on the beach and you park on the beach, as opposed to the cruising kind of thing. So I know that the messaging is subtly focused in that way. One of the other things that the Beach Patrol and the county is trying to do is to make people more aware of the fact that there actually are more miles of beach where there are no driving than there are driving, and so people that are looking for maybe a no-drive alternative, they need to avail themselves of where those parking lots are so that they can park right there, but not necessarily on the beach.
Oh, correct. We have probably about 18 miles of beach that is no driving, and if you have small children, I would recommend that maybe you would take your small child to a no-driving part of the beach. And you can find that we have signs out everywhere when you come onto the beach, or you could access volusia.org and find out where those areas are also.
Speaking of those small kids, I mean the 3-4-year-olds, they're rambunctious and they can slip out of your hand very quickly. I don't think we can stress it more importantly that people, if you have little kids, you really, really need to squeeze those hands if they get near those traffic lanes.
Yes, a couple things I'd like to say about that. If you do have small children, the best thing for you to do is set up all your stuff on the water side of the traffic lane so that children aren't running back and forth across the traffic lane. And that's a very good way to keep them over on the water side where they don't have to go across to the vehicles. And also, if you do let them cross the traffic lane, please go with them. Please hold their hand across the traffic lane.
And it is surprising, Tammy, in talking to people like you, how many lost kids that you guys deal with on the beach. Kids maybe run up to get a soft drink or whatever at the nearby concession. They get disoriented, and you know, you got to really watch the kids.
Yes, small children, when they come to the beach, everything looks the same to them. All the buildings look similar, so it's very easy for them to get lost. Yes.
For people that want more information, Tammy, perhaps they're trying to plan where they're going to go for the beach and what's allowed and that sort of thing. How do people get more information?
Go to volusia.org, beaches.
Well, Tammy, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information with us. We'll have you back right before the July 4th weekend. It's going to be a busy time on Volusia beaches. We're hoping for good weather, and let's stay safe and have a great time.
Yes, I agree.
Our guest today, Tammy Marris, Beach Patrol Captain. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.